They call him the harder farmer.
How far could he have gone? Anyone home? Hey. I read you. What's your situation? Hell's going on? No fucking way. Bruce, this is Condor 1.
Hunnigan here. What's your sit rep?
The president's daughter, Baby Eagle. It's likely she's in this village.
Our intel was correct then. Well done.
Something's happened to the people here. My escorts are... Gotta go. Talk later.
You can be confident choosing Farmers Insurance. There's no need to knock on wood.
What's going on, guys? It is me, Whisk, here.
Outlandish.
B.o.P podcast, episode 64, Tuesday, 7:30. Of course, a little bit, tad bit late, but it's all good because we're here for you. Share, like, subscribe, and comment. Hit the notification bell when you know we're on every Tuesday. And check us out. We got a lot of things in store for you guys. Thank you guys for actually showing up, checking us out, hearing the news, and our rants and our opinions in the gaming world, in the gaming community. From the ground fair of news, not just because it's hot we announce it. No, we give you some recaps of things as well as other random topics and behind the scenes I wouldn't say political, but the Activision and the Microsoft and the approvals and all that stuff. If you guys not familiar, check in the comments the actual description and the video. We do have Backbone, which is an iPhone peripheral attaches to your phone, and make sure you go check that out. It is in our ticker as well as a description. You're missing out if you don't have it. As a PlayStation edition as well. Get to play any and all your games if they have controller support, of course. The cloud gaming platforms, not Stadia, Xbox, the NVIDIA GeForce, and what's another one? Steam, and what else?
Luna.
And Amazon Luna. Yeah. That's a sleeper, but it's there. But make sure you check that out. Get the peripheral. It's great. It's awesome. Love it. This week is okay.
Yeah, it was a little light, but it had some stuff that's going to be a little longer topics.
Yeah.
But it's going to be it's going to be not as much topics, but longer topics. Because 2 showcases happened last week.
Yeah, and one of them, I wouldn't say shocked the world, but finally is getting some love. I think that's the first thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing because finally we got some freaking love as a... Hold on, wait.
No, you get to tell me because I'll laugh. If you say something, I bring out the other picture, I'm like, we're on the wrong page.
Because as long as I've been... Because I played this game when it first came out back in 1999 on the PS1.
Still very vague.
It was literally one of my favorite horror games that I ever played. And
Still
I
kind
love
of
this. That we finally got some news, some things after the disappointment that Konami did to me with Silent Hills.
I did not want to put out the picture when another horror game we're supposed to talk about.
So last week, it was Wednesday, Silent Hill decided to have a showcase.
Yep.
Which was I was pretty excited, but also my hopes were very, very low. Because like I said, Konami has destroyed them ever since what they did with Silent Hills and Kojima and Guillermo del Toro and that whole mess of a thing that it could have been literally the best Silent Hill game, and then you decided they want to get canceled because you're petty.
You gotta give them gotta give them backstory though, because most don't really. Whoever is in the core knows, but what is Silent Hill? Where did it come from, and why I don't think is going to be great.
So pretty much the Silent Hill games, it was a game series that started in 1999 on the PS1.
Creepy as hell.
It's a horror game, but it's more psychological horror.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff, pretty much with the main characters, yes, there are some weapons and stuff, but it's not mainly focused on that.
Yeah.
It's mainly focused on the horror. It's not just blood, guts, and all that type of stuff.
No,
it does have that,
bro.
but it has some very psychological type of horror.
Yeah.
Most of these kind of games has to deal with nightmares and people dealing with their nightmares and different kind of manifestations of nightmares. And of course, different lead characters have different kind of ways they interpret nightmares. And these games go into the deep core of that. So some of the creatures you'll be seeing in these games are just stuff that you cannot even imagine.
Yeah, no, that's
it's
creepy.
Some of the darkest stuff, but I love all that because I love horror. I grew up with horror.
If you like that, then yes. And it is something that it's very unique. It was very tapped. Fog plays it's an ultimate feature within a game.
Exactly, because with games before in the horror genre, it used to never be more it used to be more like Resident Evil, for example.
Yep.
A lot more action paced, a lot more fast paced. Your job is to kill these zombies, kill these vampires, kill whatever you have to do that. But this one's more methodical. You have to figure out mysteries. You have to figure out the mystery of what's going on, and you have to do that while trying to deal with the issues and the anxiety and all the stuff that's going in you, and whatever is going into that, all that dark stuff is manifesting into all these creatures that you see.
My fond memory of that when I first played Silent Hill, which he coached me to do so, and I was very, 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 very afraid of it. I was running up a stairs. I heard a howl. I ran back, and I just dropped the controller. I'm done.
He noped so fast out of that.
I noped the crap out of that game.
This is so fun. It was number 2, I remember.
Yep.
You noped so fast out of that.
And just recently, maybe, I don't know, about a year-ish, showed the wife Silent Hill. She watched the movie, and I'm like, it's the game. And she's like, yeah, I heard of it, and we played it. And I'm like, game, this thing is so choppy. It's so weird.
Well,
it's still weird and creepy. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god. But I like the visuals on it. It looks good in hopes that it becomes great. But my thing is, it's not what it's supposed to be. It doesn't have the essence that it was, because the one gentleman that worked on Silent Hill ended up being ousted by Konami because of pettiness, correct?
Yeah, it was pretty much, the whole Kojima situation and Silent Hills.
Kojima's legendary, okay? We're talking Death Stranding is the most recent thing he's came out with.
Well, don't forget the Metal Gear Solid series.
I was just going to say that. Metal Gear Solid series is literally
his baby, his bread and butter.
Yeah, and then he created tapped horror, and it would be him, because you play Death Stranding, and that's odd too. But with this, it doesn't feel the same. It feels more of like, it just feels like you know what it is? It feels like a regular horror game, just carrying the name so it could sell. I feel personally that's more of a cash. It's going to be a cash cow.
Honestly, I have hope for this series.
Okay.
Like with the new, because what they first showed off in the showcase was the long rumored, which it's been leaked because we talked about it before, Silent Hill 2 remake, which is the best game to do a remake on, because that game did came out in like the beginning times of PS1.
Yeah,
it was like one of like the first and second.
Make it the remake of that. It's gonna be great.
It looks great. Have you saw the trailer? Right? It
absolutely.
looks fantastic. Yeah. I'm so excited how they're gonna do that. Now, the people who's in charge of this remake, along with Konami, is Bloober Team, which they were the ones who did Medium, and Layers of Fear, and all other horror. So they have experience in horror. Mm-hmm. People are worried because it is the Bloober Team Medium. It was a decent game, but it wasn't like a fantastic
great concept,
game.
But unfortunately, it didn't fare as what they hoped.
It had issues.
Even I had hope for it because it was great concept.
Yeah,
but it
had issues.
Yeah.
And then Layers of Fear, another one, great concept, and everything, but it just wasn't very well executed.
So now it's like a concept is not playing around with this game because it's already a legendary type
It's
of
a legendary classic. Silent Hill 2, honestly, next to 3. Is the best Silent Hill of all time.
Will it prevail?
Well, that's the thing. It looks like it will prevail. It looks good. Mm-hmm. I like what they're doing. They are keeping the thing, just making it more prettier and more like cinematic and stuff, which is great. But we don't have a release date yet because we don't know when to come out. But what we do know is it is going to be a timed exclusive for the PS5 and the PC, and a year.
As it should.
And then after that, I guess it'll come out for like Xbox or whatever.
Yeah, the leftovers.
But for now, it's gonna be a PS5. It's not even coming out for PS4. Straight to PS5.
Good, because that means at
and
least
then
it's worked from the ground up.
And it'll also be coming on the PC too.
Now,
which is Steam.
What threw me off, and you took it in as a different way. I looked at it as, now they're just doing too much with this series because, to be honest with you, it's Silent Hill. I get it, but making all these type of titles, but one of them stood out.
Mm-hmm. Which was Silent Hill Ascension. Mm-hmm. So what this one is, from what they described, and they also had some interviews afterwards that kind of gave more detail on the situation of the game. So pretty much what it is it's going to be a one-time streaming type of game that's pretty much going to be all streamed like on the cloud or anything like that. And from what it's been announced, it's going to be only aired once, only showed once, and everything that you do in the game is going to have a consequence. And basically, if you do anything in the game, it's going to last. It's not going to be like, other games that if you make a mistake, you could just save the game and then go back and redo it again. No, there is no redoing. You basically, whatever decision you make, you're stuck with it. And they're going to do that. They're going to be having a lot of people play online, live.
Yeah.
So it's going to be live. It's going to show like everything that you are doing. The people gets to have a choice exactly what's going to happen. And pretty much this is going to be a huge experiment. They're going to see how this works, how it's going to play out. So this one is kind of like a more of an experimental testing type of feature, but it looks interesting. It looks like it's going to be like text based, like narrative based. It's going to be like basically just all narration, and it's going to be interesting on how they're going to handle this and how they're going to do this experimentation. And I guess depending on how it goes, we might see something like this in the future. I'm honestly
Very
curious.
experimental.
Yeah, I'm curious on how this is going to work, and if it comes on when I'm available, I would like to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Because that would be pretty cool. So
Different. What's another one that really threw me all off?
Another one that they showed this was just a huge like teaser. Like nothing was. It was like a little like 2-second trailer and thing. It's called Silent Hill Townfall, which is another project that they are
Saving
working
the best
on.
for last, huh?
I'm
are.
saving the best for last. And then they showed that. They didn't show much of that. It was just like a little tape recorder, a little playback of the tape recorder, and then that was it. There's really not much detail on that game. The only thing we know is it's getting developed by No Code, and they are known to make some deep psychological type of horror games.
Oh, jeez, they're just trying to
So
tap into the
this
psyche,
one, I'm hoping they go like really deep in there and just like mess with the mind. I was gonna say something else, but I was like, that
just really
mess with the mind.
You up.
Exactly. I want that to happen because I love when things like that. I love when movies do that to me, and I want games to do that to me too.
Side note, you know what's one that really, really messed me up?
What?
To this day, it literally makes me question every single movie I watch.
What?
Fractured.
Oh,
Remember Fractured?
I remember Fractured.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
In the end, I was done. My face melted. My mind was.
I like I said, I like when things like do that to the brain. And then another thing that they talked about, nothing was shown, but they were talking about it, is the new Silent Hill movie called Return to Silent Hill.
You got me going through the showcase. I'm like, I wanted to show her, oh, look, there's a movie that's tied really close to the games. And there was none. They were just talking about it. I'm like, I want to hear this.
They
I'm
were
going
just
to watch it.
But the good thing is, the director who's in charge of this is the one who directed the first Silent Hill movie, which was actually, in my opinion, pretty decent. The sequel was bad.
Okay.
But the first one was decent. I'm not going to say it was great, but it was decent. Yeah, the sequel was awful. Like, we pretend that does not exist.
Jeez.
The Silent Hill world pretends that does not exist. So that one, he was going into detail on how he wants to, bring the good psychological horror, but also make it a little different from the games, but also keep that kind of feeling of it. So all we know is it's basically going to be taking place. It's going to be a young guy who's going to come back into Silent Hill after, like, looking for his.
Why do y'all keep going back to Silent Hill?
I know. They
Why?
just keep coming back. They
Go to another state.
And then, of course, things go down with nightmares and stuff like that. And that's all we know so far. So we don't know when that's coming out. We don't even know if they even started filming it yet.
Yeah. I was very, very misled by my own broski over here because I'm thinking they had the whole trailer. They showed off a movie trailer. I was like, oh, snap.
And then they showed off some, like, merchandise and stuff. And some of the figurines that they were showing.
See, yeah, I know.
I want them.
And I think Cash Cow.
So bad.
I think Cash Cow.
I know.
That's what bothers
But, like,
me.
some of those, it's like, I want them so bad. Like, the prices I saw, I'm like, I'm going to think about not doing that. But I want them.
What's the price ranges?
I think it was like in the hundreds or something like that. But usually for like detailed figurines like that, it's the normal price.
You pay for a collectible.
Now, what I'm going to end on is the one that I am super excited about. And I know this is the one that...
Yeah, dude, this one I was like...
It's what ended the thing. And
it looked a bit too much. But now you explained it a little bit better, so now I get it.
So what this one is called Silent Hill F. So what this one is, like what we found out, it's going to be taking place in Japan in the 1960s. It looks like it's going to take place in, I guess, kind of like a school thing, because what they showed, like a young girl, like kind of like a schoolgirl, I guess, like that, walking around, and also, of course, all the creepy stuff is happening. And then things like the cherry blossoms, but they're like formed out of like blood type of thing.
Yep.
And then, of course, at the end, they showed this like creature who's like dressed in like flowers and stuff like that. And then, of course, the face just starts peeling off, and I'm like, I got so excited because it's just like you see flower, and then
Yeah, no. I was like, you're tapped, bro.
yeah.
You're tapped.
So I was like, okay, so this looks like this is going to be a new Silent Hill game, which is great. So instead of a remake, looks like it's going to be an actual full Silent Hill game, new Silent Hill game.
We'll see if it's not canceled.
It better not be canceled. Yeah, I swear to God. I'll go into that after. I'm just finished talking about this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this game looks fantastic. And for what I saw from that trailer, I'm so excited because we never been to Japan. Because Silent Hill's always been taking place in kind of like an America. Silent Hill's not a real place, but it's like basically its location is based on a city in Philadelphia that's been abandoned.
That looks like a gray 10:30 a.m. Plymouth.
It takes if I remember correctly, I think the origins is like it was originally based off a city that's in Philadelphia that's been abandoned, and it's always like dark gray color and thing. It's because there was coal mines that happened on the thing, and there was like coal fires, and they just never be put out. So there's constant smoke there and stuff like that, and that's basically what's causing it. And that's what, if I remember correctly, they based the town of Silent Hill on that.
Okay.
Sorry, just joking.
Yeah, clearly.
So it's like
live, dude. You don't do that.
So I'm like excited about like I'm excited where it's gonna go. And like I said, it takes place in the 60s, so it seems like it takes place before the Silent Hill. So I wonder if this is going to be like kind of a story of like how it all started,
like
maybe
a prequel,
like
or something
like that. I don't know. That would be pretty cool. Maybe like a origin story. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I went on TikTok Live and I was just like, I feel Silent Hill's not going to go anywhere. And I just feel like it's more of it's gonna be a strict cash cow, and if Konami doesn't see very quick investment on it, they're just gonna probably cancel everything and just dump it.
So now this is how I feel about what happened.
That's how I feel about it, guys.
So I will be honest, I was happy when I saw the trailer, but when I was watching the showcase. But after that showcase, after seeing all the great trailers and everything, I was angry. Now you're gonna be thinking like, why are you so happy and then so angry? Because what Konami has been doing these past like years, they've been pretty much letting all their IPs like die. They haven't really done a lot of stuff to keep the IPs, and whatever they're doing with the IPs are not it. Metal Gear Survive.
Nothing.
Awful.
That
game
what that
was
is.
awful.
Well, I knew what it is, but you know.
And then things like Silent Hill, we didn't know if anything was going to be made. The last thing they were doing was back in 2014 was with the PT, and everyone knows what happened with that.
Yep, which was like a lost a half produced by Kojima, and then they had their dispute, and then it got pulled.
And then they decided they want to be petty, like pull the whole thing, cancel everything, and just be like, you know what, I don't even want you to even play it anymore. And they just got rid of it from the store.
They got rid of it from the store. If you played it, they would have banned you on your account. It's like, you have proof of the actual game. Why am I gonna be penalized for it? And they did it. Is that they're that petty, and that's not a company you want to mess with, especially with this type of heavy title. I don't know.
So pretty much, so I started getting angry because I was like, how dare Konami bring my hopes up on these games that look fantastic and looks like they're going to be fantastic. I will say, I am excited, but my hopes on these games are set low because I'm trying not to put my hopes too high, and then what happened with Silent Hill is going to happen with these games, and I'm going to be so angry if that were to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to get to that point.
I feel like a little Nintendo there.
A little
bit of abuse by Nintendo.
So I will say, I am happy with what I see, but I'm cautiously happy. Cautiously. So I'll take that how you will.
Yep. Take it for what it is, and we'll see what happens. Let's go with another showcase that we, since we're talking about it here.
Yep.
Another one that really it surprised me because I didn't really think none of it. There's so much Resident Evils that I've been seeing as remakes. I'm like, all right, they're just gonna. I wasn't even like excited about this because I already know they're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Those that follow the series They want to know how it's implemented.
Exactly.
And they just watched the showcase, and
they
it
showed the
does look good.
It does.
But again, it's just something that I know, oh yeah, well, if they did one remake and another remake on Resident Evil, then we know that's all going to come out. So I'm not really building that. I'm just like, oh, okay.
I wanted to have it because I love how the remakes, they're doing great jobs on the remakes. Like, the gameplay that they showed for this one, I was super excited about it. It looks great. It was basically, the gameplay they showed was the first part of the game. It's like, but it's just much prettier, obviously, because it's remade from the ground up. And I'm so excited what they were showing. Very gruesome kills, very gruesome stuff. I was like, okay, great. Keep the Resident Evil thing up. I like that. So I'm personally excited. A great way, because the game has been released so much, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Even on Oculus, it was released on that too. I mean, Meta, whatever it's called now. It was even released on that, which is good. Yeah, it's a good game, by the way. But it was even released on that. And then other things that they showed on the showcase, which is stuff that we already knew, but that's going to go down anyway. They showed Resident Evil 8 Gold Edition, which is all the DLC of Resident Evil 8, along with the new DLC that's coming out, which is going to star Rose, which is the daughter of the protagonist in the Resident Evil game.
Okay.
And they're also finally going to be releasing Reverse, which was the multiplayer Resident Evil game that was supposed to come out when Resident Evil 8 first came out, but then it kept getting delayed. Didn't
they have beta for it, and then they never finalized it?
Exactly.
Wow, so it's coming out.
So now it's finally coming out.
Yeah, we'll see.
On the 28th.
We'll see. This month.
We'll see, yeah.
This month.
That's what it
Next
said.
week.
Yeah, on the 24th, which was yesterday, they started early access to be able to get into it. If you have Resident Evil Village, you get the access.
Don't
to
Halo
early
us.
access.
Don't Halo Infinity us. Okay, I'm just saying.
So that's finally coming out. And then also another thing that they showed was that the Switch edition is going to be getting Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 as cloud editions on the Switch. And Resident Evil 2 is coming on November 11th. Resident Evil 3 is coming out November 18th. And Resident Evil 7 is going to be coming out December 16th.
So by the year's end, Switch is going to have a lot of different Resident Evil games.
Finally.
Good.
The only thing is it's cloud editions, which sucks. But it's because, it's a Switch. They can't really handle the graphics of the Resident Evil Switch.
So why not do the alternative for the cloud? Which now that's great, because now they're utilizing that cloud interface with more games on a Nintendo platform. And I personally didn't realize they were doing that besides Control and some other really niche type of games.
But yeah, pretty much a lot of the stuff, like even Kingdom Hearts 3, they did a cloud version of it.
That's
for
awesome.
The Switch.
That's great. Nintendo's doing it the right way, very pacefully. You know what I mean? Like that's even a word, because Xbox got it and still has some issues with that. Then you have PlayStation and they have some issues with that. So the fact they could just say some games have, I didn't anticipate Nintendo doing it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's pretty cool how they're slowly getting into it.
Yeah, exactly. Finally getting into it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, their online still sucks.
Yeah, they're not the best online.
Not the best. No, they are the worst. They're terrible.
Yeah, they're the
terrible.
Worst. But yeah, the Resident Evil 4 remake is going to be coming on March 24th of next year, which I'm excited. It's actually pretty decently close.
That's usually around the times when those Resident Evil games come out, isn't it?
Usually, it's like give or take like a week or two.
The window is usually around the March, Feb, April.
I'm honestly now the only thing I want, because they haven't announced it yet, and they need to do a remake of Code Veronica. Literally one of my favorite.
That's your prediction.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Resident Evil games for the Dreamcast. It's so overlooked because it's not one of the main titles. It's kind of one of the
It was on the Dreamcast first, right?
It was,
and then it went to the PS2.
Yeah.
See, I remember the
Code
PS2
Veronica
one.
X. Yeah.
Yep. I remember the PS2
It's pretty much
version.
the same thing, but it's just upped it up a little bit. Just
it's just director's cut. There's some scenes in it that didn't have, and then,
but that's it. But I want to do similar to Resident Evil 4, 2, and 3, a full remake of Code Veronica. That would be amazing, and I would play the hell out of that. I know so much people, me personally, that are fans of the game would buy that in a heartbeat. Please, I want Resident Evil 4 to sell well.
You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it
has to happen because
that's gonna happen.
That game is such a cult favorite of the Resident Evil fandom. And it needs to happen because it was originally exclusively on the Dreamcast. Then of course they ported it to the PS2.
Well, clearly because Dreamcast wasn't trying to survive.
I love the Dreamcast. It was one of my favorite systems.
It was good. I loved the memory card interactive with it.
They had some of my favorite JRPGs on that system.
And the internet was supposed to be the bee's knees, and
Well, it was the first
I
one.
remember I tried so hard to get that to work,
I know you did.
and I didn't with our DSL connection.
Yeah, we didn't have the fastest of internet back then, so.
You know, it was DSL that was the fastest, so we were thankful to have that, and that didn't even work.
Yeah, it was thing, but like I said, I want that to happen. That'll be my prediction, and hopefully it does within, I don't know, a couple of years,
Yeah,
give it a take.
give or take. What's another one that we have here? Let's go with something sad but cute.
So,
Because the topic after this, I'm gonna.
So Pokemon decided to release a couple of information, but the first thing I want to talk about is they announced a new Pokemon today, and his name is Greavard.
And I just seen this dude, and this is so bad.
Oh my
That's
god,
terrible. Poor little dude.
He's such a good boy.
Can you do me a favor though before we do it? Can you top right hit that, and then you're gonna go back in it again?
He is such a good boy. It's like I can't believe.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And do it again. That's hilarious. Yeah, you seen the trailer? No, hit live. Live.
Oh, there it goes.
And there you go. Jamie, you don't waste no damn time. What time? You see, you can't do that because you are on. I don't know. You might do another topic there. What topic does it show?
Chat interview.
Nope. Yep. Get out of it.
Okay.
Because you did it on the chat interview. You got to remove it.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
It's dumb.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry, we're going on TikTok, but it doesn't really sync with Streamlabs. We're just trying to get that now.
Okay.
Go click on that chat and interview, and scroll all the way up. None. Saddletail. Cool. Now we back.
Okay, so yeah, it was like this trailer. What they showed the new trailer. He's a ghost dog Pokemon, and it was cute how they. It was cute how they do the trailer. It was like a little explorer lady. She was like searching around. She was in a dark wood, and it's like ghost Pokemon around because Halloween, of course, they're gonna do like a little thing like that.
Yeah.
And then also you see like a little candle on the ground. Then all of a sudden it went up, and then you see the dog like running around.
Which is the picture you see here.
And then he's running around chasing his tail and all that. It was so adorable. And then she was like, "Oh, this is cute. It's cute." And then all of a sudden, she started feeling a little tired,
woozy
and
tired,
stuff. And then
trying to get
and then
the
of
Pokemon.
course the dog brought the stick to her, and she tossed it fetch and stuff. And then she started feeling more weak. And then the dog came back and grabbed the thing, and then she was about to throw it again, and then she fainted and fell to the floor. And
the poor thing's looking just all happy, all ready.
Licking her face and stuff like that.
It is a good story for Pokemon because remember when we were kids, it was Cubone, and we found out the helmet that he was wearing was his Mom Duke's.
Exactly.
The poor thing.
So pretty much his thing is he's a very happy-go-lucky type of thing, like a regular dog.
Yep.
But his power energy, it saps the life out of the people. So it's like kind of like a curse.
Poor thing.
He's a ghost Pokemon, so I guess that's what his thing. So
yeah.
Now, a couple of other things that they showed off too, which I'm pretty excited about, is that shiny Pokemon you'll be able to see out in the wild.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
you'll be able to know who's going to be shiny and what's not. So it's good for people who are collecting
Man,
shiny.
getting them shiny Pokemons back in the day, bro.
Exactly. It was so difficult.
It was like 1 out of 1,000,000 interactions of any Pokemon in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And when you had it right in front of you, it was it. Like, you had to get it. If you don't get it, you're done.
Exactly. This time, remember back in the day where if you face the trainer, they automatically you have to battle them?
Yeah.
Now you can just go up to them and talk to them, so you have a choice to battle them or not.
That's
if you
stupid.
do that. They kind of did that
dumb.
to make it a little more...
Oh, so they don't... Nah, come on, man.
I like that.
What about bullies? They don't learn about being a bully, right? Hey, let's fight. Then you have to.
And now you'll be able to select a Pokemon, and if they get low health, they can automatically heal themselves with the items that you have in your bag.
Oh, so they can do that now. Oh, that's cool.
So that's pretty cool that they set that up.
Pikachu, get the up. Use the damn potion.
Clothes and hairstyles in the game could be used by both genders, so
that's
you
cool.
can do like whatever you want, which is awesome that they are doing that. You'll be able to create sandwiches, which is be able to like help you like raise the health and all that.
Sandwiches. That's like Final Fantasy 15, isn't it?
Exactly.
Hook up and cook up.
You'll be able to access your Pokemon box anytime. So remember you had to go to the PC to get access to your Pokemon?
Oh, okay.
Now you'll be able to access it anywhere you go.
It is 22. They better have some of the cloud data.
So
yeah,
it's pretty much like cloud data.
Yeah,
So,
you download
so
the
I
profile
love that
to
they
get that
do
Pokemon,
that.
so that makes sense.
I love that they're doing that. And if you want a wild battle, the wild Pokemon around you while you're battling one Pokemon, gets to like join in and watch the battle and cheer for like the thing and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a background interactive type of thing.
So it's like a whole audience.
Exactly. And then you'll be able to throw a Pokemon to the.
It's terrible. It's like Fight Club.
Exactly.
You know, right? I just thought about that. Like, wait a minute, you hard to get one Pokemon, and all of a sudden, like 50 Pokemon come out of nowhere. Beat his ass, Pikachu, death, death, death. There's your damn dog come out of nowhere. Look at everybody. They all just fade and die. Like, come on now. Like,
And then,
oh god.
and then they're gonna have day and night cycles in this game, which is awesome. So you'll be able to do different things day and night, and you'll be able to hold on. What else I wrote? You can customize your characters in the beginning with no issues at all. And to start a battle, you can throw a Pokemon ball at it, and that will give you an advantage in the battle.
So you can kind of
You can
hey
sneak.
yo, why you throw the Pokemon at me? And go from there.
You can literally sneak up on a Pokemon and do that and get an advantage on the battle. Exactly. So they're trying to do like different ways, which I'm happy about. Like
Adds a little fresh little,
I'm excited.
razzle dazzle to your Pokemon and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. So I'm excited for this. Comes out next month, which I'm excited about. I'm gonna get the first.
That's
day.
gonna do some numbers.
Oh, it's gonna
No,
sound.
let me
wow.
ask you this: that graphics we've seen on that trailer, that's just trailer graphics.
That's
not
his trailer.
real.
Yeah, that's his trailer.
Man,
I know. If it looked like that,
that
I
trailer.
know. I know.
Hey, that Pokemon game looked really, really delicious. But if that's a trailer, okay.
It's just a trailer.
Yeah.
Pokemon games, they're not known to be graphically
They're
amazing.
not, but I'm glad that it's still surviving.
It
Pokemon's
sells
doing
well.
this thing.
Every
It
time,
sells
every
well. You
every
kidding?
time it came, it sells.
Pokemon will always gonna sell. It's just a matter of what kind of different things you can do now.
Exactly. And what new Pokemon we get battle, because people love collecting new Pokemon.
Yep, absolutely. All right, now we're going to go to something that I put in because now I think even the industry
You want to rant about
and
that?
developers are now getting sick of this.
Uh-huh.
And I will bring up the picture here so you guys know. And on TikTok family, let me know. You Xbox or you PlayStation? And tell me why. I need to know that. Because I'm going to probably do a TikTok live during the week and we're just going to discuss on that to see where's everybody at. You know why? Because it's, we got the Xbox people and we got the PlayStation people, and they go back and forth being toxic as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
And usually the person that has both systems slides away from the battlefield because they're not going to choose sides. They got both. And that was their little cheap cop out.
Exactly.
Okay,
That was their
but we
cop-out.
have one console. We don't have the other. We'll respect the other, but we have one console.
Well, for me, it's like the Xbox doesn't have anything I want.
Okay, so the picture you have here is the Xbox Series S. Now, if you're obviously familiar, there's two versions of the next generation, which is the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. The S is a digital-only version and less powerful version of the Xbox Series X. The specs on the Xbox Series X on paper is better than the PlayStation 5. It sucks for me to say that, but it is. But then you have the S, which is, I'm not going to say underpowered, but it is less spec'd out. It doesn't hit native 4K. It's an upscale.
It still handles all their Xbox X titles and stuff like that.
Yes.
It still handles that.
Powered by behind-the-scenes cloud computing and less resolution and the like. But here's why. Yes, in its face, it's great. You can get the Xbox Series X and play Halo Infinite from the hardware.
You'll be able to play it cheaply because it is $100 cheaper.
Yes. Well, I'm talking about the X.
Oh, sorry.
So you get the Xbox Series X, you get your Halo Infinite, you get to play it, but the person with the Xbox Series S can actually play the same exact game, and then it can be through the Game Pass, where you actually buy the game, but only digital, and it could still run. But here's the thing. Developers don't have a next generational type of game because they have to cater to two systems for every little game. To give you some history, okay, the PlayStation 1 came out, right? When the PlayStation 2 came out, it was PlayStation 2 games and those PlayStation 2 games, and that's it. There was nothing going down. Then
It was
you
not
have,
like PS2 Plus or PS2
yeah.
thing or anything like
Then
that.
it was a PlayStation 3. And then they had, there was PlayStation 2 and Slim, but it was just by the Slim hardware. Nothing to do with
changed
games or
nothing
backwards
with that.
compatibility.
Yeah, exactly.
So PlayStation 3 came out. Everything's starting to get a little bit more sophisticated. The online's booming. There's the memberships and playing online multiplayer. So then now you got people that are trying to connect on the PlayStation 2, can they play the PlayStation 3? That can't happen-ish. Whatever the case is, still wasn't a thing. PlayStation 4 came out, and that's where things started to blend in from both ecosystems.
Yeah, because
I think in that generation,
yeah.
they weren't trying to just still keep with the old school, new system, new games, that's it. So I think they catered to the audience, whereas a PlayStation 4 game would come out, but you could still play online with those on the PlayStation 3. Some games, not all. They had the same thing with the Xbox, right? The Xbox came out, the first ever one, boom, and they had their online, which is very successful, and everybody copied from there because that was a very great standalone.
What Xbox does right, and I will always admit this, is they're online. They
They're
know how to
online,
handle
they did it right.
They
They
know
did
how
it
to
right.
handle it.
They did it right.
Yeah.
They handled it well, and
And they still handle it well.
Yeah, yep, and they still are. 360 came out. Again, 360 games, Xbox game, two separate things. Xbox One came out, and they were trying to debate the same thing with the PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. What about the games on the Xbox 360? Can I get it on the Xbox One? New games, new games, new games. And then now we're all the way up into the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, and then you still got those same games on the previous generation. Some of them you can play online still, but here's the thing. Graphically is not the case, and now with the PlayStation 5 and the developers, some of them are PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, but they built on the PlayStation 5, and if it doesn't make it a PS4, guess what? It's probably not going to go on the PlayStation 4. The experience you just said was Silent Hill 2 Remake, only PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok, is that both? Or
That's
just PlayStation 5?
No, it comes out for the PS4 too.
So see those main titles will come out, and I think those are their first party like studios, so they could get away with it per se, you know.
But Silent Hill, that's 100%
Yeah,
PS5,
yeah.
and that's it.
But here's why I'm mentioning this generational boring hoopla. It's because developers now are getting sick of a next generation system that they're mandated to make it for that doesn't have the specs of a next generation game. They want to bring their skills and put it out and make it look as best as possible. The best of the best, creme of the creme, the cream of the crop.
Well, of course, they want to make sure people want to buy it. They want to sell it.
And they
best.
can't do that because they have to meet certain requirements that could cater to the S as well, which hinders their development and their kits and whatever the case may be.
That's crazy.
That is like a stalemate. So now they're trying to see if maybe Microsoft will ditch the S. Highly doubt it.
No, they're not gonna do
But
that.
they could get away with just keeping it as a hub. Remember how the Xbox they shown off the dongle for the TV?
Oh, so they could keep it as just a Game Pass
A
only thing,
big ass dongle,
which is stupid. Because
which is dumb.
I'm not gonna have. If I'm gonna get just Game Pass only, I'll rather get the small thing instead of that big ass thing just right there.
But I think it's gonna have no choice because if these developers are pitching and bitching, and they end up getting fed up. The Xbox needs to cater to the developers of the games that they want for their systems, including Game Pass.
Yeah, Xbox
Every
can't
game has to blend with the S.
Yeah,
like there's no from the ground up Xbox Series X, even if they tell you that is not the case.
Yeah, because they can't be pissing off. Xbox can't be pissing off their developers because
Yep.
Xbox been buying a lot of developers and stuff like that. And if you start pissing them off, especially like things like Bethesda,
Yeah.
where they could only have their games on Xbox, and then you're pissing them off because you're not letting them be the best that they can be.
Now, yeah.
That's not going to be good.
Now think about all these other games that are coming out. Redfall,
Starfield.
Starfield's going to be on the Xbox Series
amazing.
S too. It's supposed to be amazing. But what if the S requirement wasn't there? It would have been amazinger, if that makes sense. It doesn't make any sense, but you know where I'm
I
at.
get what you're talking
You know what
about.
I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
because those I know those are the two major ones coming out now, and obviously there's Elder Scrolls 6 whenever they decide to make that
Behind
one.
the scenes, this could be the reason why some of these things are pushed out too, pushed back.
Because of that.
It could be. We don't hear it. Maybe it's a strong NDA because of these big titles are
Well,
all
yeah,
big
because
money.
once you're stuck on an NDA, you can't say anything or you get sued off the butt.
Yeah, so maybe that is one because this doesn't make. I mean, Halo Infinite is already a case where they kind of lied to us. It's almost like a silent cyberpunk deal. But when it comes to this random 2 games that were just randomly pushed out for a whole nother year, and then they give their little excuse. I don't buy it. Something behind the scenes is not happening. Give them time, or if they had time, why did you show it off in the first place? Like it just. So they were mad, and they're getting mad. So we're going to see what Xbox is going to do.
Exactly.
They could get rid of that.
Well, right now they're in
requirement.
the process of trying to complete their deal, so they're probably focusing on that right now.
I'm going to say this. If they, behind the scenes, get rid of the development requirement for the S, more than likely you're going to see a huge push of only Xbox Series X, and the S will be discontinued, and it will end up becoming a small subwoofer-looking
Won't that piss off people?
dongle for Game Pass.
Won't that piss off people who have bought their S?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's gonna piss people off.
Absolutely. That's my prediction, though. That's something that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because if you piss off a developer and there's a requirement, you're withholding talent to be outputted on Series X. Because
that's
worst
going
case scenario
to
is going to go right to
anger.
PlayStation, if you think about it.
Well, no, don't they? Well, since Xbox bought
Any game. I'm talking about, like, for Microsoft to buy
I
Activision
thought-
and they have
yeah.
to deal with it, that's going to suck. They're going to have to do something. But I'm talking about, like, if there's a third party that wants to come out on both platforms, then they can.
because of that makes sense. Yeah.
Why go through all that hassle and port something? You know what I mean? Like, the only way they can get away with it is streaming on the Game Pass, which makes sense. So get rid of the development, and every game that comes out, build it from the ground up with Xbox Series X, and let Xbox run their service to run it on Game Pass, and use the Xbox Series S as a Game Pass hub.
Man, that's gonna
So if you can't get a brand new Samsung TV, then guess what? You can go get yourself an Xbox Series S and run your Game Pass catalog from there. Which, mind you, is a rotating. It's not, you don't own it.
Exactly, because it rotates all the time.
Not to mention the developers aren't going to get paid that much anyway. Don't you think they want to put out their best product and put it out so people can own it?
with a full price title
With
of
the full price
$70 or $60, whatever it
You
is
would
now.
think so. That's the most logical thing to think about, right?
Exactly. That is crazy.
Yeah, that was one thing that really caught me. You know, I was just like, oh snap! Now it's internal. Now people are getting pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a
this happened a few days ago, so we'll see if there's any updates within the week. But that is something I want to touch on because that's not in good taste. Let's just
not
put it
at
that way.
all.
Not in good taste. I think that's all the topics we have, right?
No, the Bayonetta thing.
Oh yeah, did we get a picture of that? Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we did. All right, so our last topic of the day, it's probably going to be some drama. There it
Yeah,
goes.
because it's an update of what's been happening for the past couple of weeks, but obviously I'll go over everything quickly and then get into the new stuff.
Yeah.
So, a couple of weeks ago, voice actor Helena Taylor decided to do a Twitter feed. A bunch of videos, about 3 of them, discussing like how she was offered some money and it was like way beneath her like pay grade and stuff like that. She was saying she was only offered $4,000 to do the whole role of Bayonetta because she's been the voice of Bayonetta since the first game. And then she was saying that they asked her to come onto the game and they were going to give her $4,000 in order to do the roles of the game, which is about a couple of hours of work. What originated her to start this thread fade was back on the Game Informer issue with the Bayonetta 3, they were saying that the reason why they couldn't get Helena Taylor to the game was because of schedule conflicts. So of course, when she heard that, she was not happy with that. So she decided to be like, okay, I'm going to say my piece. And then she went on that, and of course,
I'm saying my piece.
exactly. And then
probably
she
what
went into
said.
the whole thing, and of course, everyone was angry at Platinum Games, saying like, "Oh my God, you've been treating her like this. You've been paying her so low. Voice actors should be getting paid more." Which one thing I will say, because of this, I agree. Voice actors should be paid more for what they do. Honestly, in my opinion, I think they should. Now, things started to fall back and things were starting to happen. One of the things that happened was the first thing that happened was Jennifer Hale, who is the new voice of Bayonetta 3, and she's a huge voice actress. She's also known for playing Shepard in the Mass Effect series, the female version of it. But it's like, so she had to say that she could not, under the NDA, announce exactly the situation, but she feels that everyone under the union should be paid correctly, and that she took this job without knowing all the situations been happening on that, and she believes that every actor has the right to be paid what they are worth. So she said all that, trying to keep it nice and clean and everything.
Very professional statement. Yes.
Now, what happened now is, it happened I think about a week later or a couple days later. Bloomberg released out their little article, and they were saying that actually Platinum Games attempted to rehire her at $3,000 to $4,000 per session, which is up to 5 sessions. So she was going to be making upwards about $15K instead of the $4K which she originally said. And then they also mentioned that she did not agree to that payment and that she wanted 6-figure payments along with residuals of the game being sold. That's what Platinum was saying, that that was discussed, and
it's a lot of dough.
Exactly. And then another news source actually corroborated on that. Video Game Chronicles also got proof of that, saying that that's what happened. So then, of course, with all that going on, people were like, oh, she's lying. Like, why is she saying that originally she was only getting paid $4,000? And then, then it was like, it was a really bad look for her. And then, of course, she was saying that what they're saying is lies. They are lying. That's not what happened. This is not what I was saying. They actually, hold on. So they were lying. That's not what happened. That she did not ask for that kind of money, but she wants to put everything behind her and the thing. So I was like, are you kidding me? So now you're trying to deflect the situation now, even though you're the one who brought it up in the first place.
Yeah, look. The numbers could have been a little bit off by a little. I mean, like a lot. But we're gonna put it past this, because I feel like the gaming industry doesn't need this tension throughout this inflation and throughout this other stuff and stuff. So
that was so bad. Like she was trying to
stick with you.
Yeah, she was just backpedaling. So a lot of people, of course, angry about that. So they were trying to get the bomb out. So who is telling the truth, the big company or her? And it was like, and then all of a sudden, people were, of course, attacking Jennifer Hale, saying that you took Taylor's job, blah, 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 even though she had nothing to do with that. She was just taking a job, and that was it.
Yeah, right.
So then, Platinum Games later said a little statement saying that they agree with Jennifer Hale said about because she did a response. She was like, she held a thing, and she said, and they also said that they respect everyone who took part in all of the Bayonetta games. So that's including Taylor.
Yep.
So they're complimenting her also,
Another
but kind of in a vague way.
Yeah, like
exactly. So then, Helena Taylor, literally a couple of days ago, decided that she wants to reclaim her name and try to say, try to fix the issue that's been going on, because she's been saying people are dragging her name and all that type of stuff.
You did it to yourself, lady.
Exactly.
Don't know what to tell you, dude.
So what she was saying is, at first they offered her $10K for the thing, and then she declined that offer because she felt like she was a thing. So then the CEO of the company went back to her to add another $5K, so $15K, which was what originally was said. And then she was like, no, I should be paid more because this is a $450 million series, which it's not.
It's not.
It's about 150 to 200 million.
Oh, okay.
Because it sold, but it didn't sell like that well.
Yeah.
So she's expecting all this kind of money. She's like, she should be paid her worth and everything like that. So pretty much what she was saying and all of that was, she pretty much said that she lied in her first thing. Because in this statement, the new one, she was saying what Platinum Games was saying in the interview. So it's like, okay, so you decided that you want to come back and try to backpedal pretty much of what you are saying, and now pretty much you're saying the exact thing that was said in the interview? do you know how bad that looks? Like, don't get me wrong. I understand because voice actors, I will always say this because this brought new light to voice actors and how important they are and how they should be being paid. And I will thank you for putting that into the public eye because now a lot of people understand that now too. But you can't just go around and start lying because, once you are lying and doing things like that, it's like, just to let you know, you're probably not going to get another voice acting job after all this.
It's going to be harder for you because
it's
now
gonna
you're
be
just a liability at this
so hard
point.
because, exactly. Because no company want to deal with you. You lied in the beginning.
You're a Karen employee.
Pretty much. It's like, it's pretty bad. It's like,
I won't lie. I did. That was one thing that I did. That I was fighting for everybody's right. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So I plucked out the handbook and I read something that the company wasn't doing, put them on blast. I almost got in trouble for it, but it forced the company to reevaluate whatever and gave others, me and others, the correct pay and correct calculation of hours. So that is one way to do it, but
the
to
way
complete
she
lie,
did it, exactly the way she
run
did
with
it was just bad.
especially in this type of game that's very, very popular.
Yeah, because I will be honest. When the first came out, before everything came out afterwards, I was ready to not buy the game because I felt like, okay, she's getting cheated.
It's always
that's
two sides.
awful.
Yep.
But that's what. Thank God I waited, and now I found all this information. Now I'm like, okay, now I don't feel bad now to buy the game now.
The Activision Blizzard scenario was just
that's a total
whole
different thing. I will
mountain
never-
full of one story because there's
100%.
no
I will
other
never
story.
touch an Activision Blizzard game. I will never touch that.
Then you have those little random incidences, but when you have somebody that's went ahead and started with a lie, then
Make
got
people feel
owned.
bad and
yeah.
get people riled up. Because I remember when this news first came out, people were angry. People were like, boycott Bayonetta 3. There was a lot of YouTubers, like video game YouTubers, they were saying boycott.
And the people that did that boycott Bayonetta and not really rushing into it, that's why it's called a developing story. That's why when you do something like that out there, you need to make sure that is you're clearly saying development story, because now y'all just clickbaiting for something that you don't even know if it's true, false, fact, fiction or lie, partial.
You have to wait until all the things come out of it, because honestly, when this first was come out, I was a little skeptical.
Yeah, you go online and you see like, wait, what?
Obviously, I will believe because big company, little guy. Of course, I want to believe the little guy, and because fuck big companies, but things like that. But it's like,
but at the same time, I'm kind of the opposite, because it takes because a big company has more responsibility, so it takes, you got to go through the processes to do such an act.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean?
That's true. But
because
the thing
if
is,
it goes wrong, their name is tarnished.
Yeah, because the only thing I was going back to, of course, is like Activision Blizzard.
I was
like that.
not trying to say that because that again is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But you are right. I get what you.
That's why I was a little jaded. I will say at the beginning, I was, because with the whole.
Because not
Activision
only
Blizzard
that you're
happened.
dealing with that and even loss of death and just ignorant, sick people, then you got realizing that voice actors get paid crap, and then she's getting screwed. This is crazy.
Exactly.
And then like you're looking at Nintendo first, then you're looking at Platinum Games, then you're looking at them. You're sick people, and then come to realize,
oh, like what the heck?
And then you're waiting for her rebuttal to prove yourself that you're correct, and you're backing her up, and then when she hits you with that, you're like, you're useless, yo. Now I get it, But
No, it's
that's why it's a developing story.
But I will say, like I said, I will say this again because this is important. This brought light to how voice actors should be paid more.
Yep.
Honestly, should be paid more.
And I don't think that's what she didn't want
No.
out of the story.
No, the way
was
she
just-
wanted to be the victim. It's whatever.
Yeah,
She wanted to
she
be
wanted to be victimized. Now
But-
she's dealing with the fact that she shot herself in the foot. Who does that, dude? Like,
It was so
at least do your research enough to like, if this is the thing and you find out it's really big and bad, don't ask for 6 figures. Ask for, if you're gonna ask for something like that, dude,
I mean, ask for a little more, but not 6.
equivalent of the session. So what if you said, "Now look, I know how this game is. I know it's a very big staple. So look, instead of 15, how would we do 3,500 for 5 sessions, and we'll go from there." Because now here's what I was gonna say while you were talking.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it in my head.
Yeah.
I wonder why the voice actors of America kind of suck.
God, don't say it like that, because there's actually a lot of good American voice actors.
A lot of good ones.
Because remember the cartoon shows that we grew up on.
Yeah.
some of the best voice actors, like I would hear a voice, I would like, I know who she is.
Yeah.
I know who he is.
But you gotta realize too sometimes, and again, I'm not sitting there gonna back up the companies, but some of them are very brand new, and they don't know the success it will come up. When it comes to the negotiating table, is where you can't be blamed. That's exactly what happened with this lady. So she went ahead and took a job, and that job became crazy good.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure when she booked the first Bayonetta, she was not expecting a lot. She only got like $3,000 for the first thing because it was the first thing.
And just like if SpongeBob with Patrick and SpongeBob, they first do their little 3 or 4 episodes, and all of a sudden, pew, takes off. If you're smart, you negotiate, you work together to make something fruitful, and it grows from there. She went ahead and said, I'm doing this, and you got paid this. Boom. Now we're super huge. Now I want more than you. You know, it's like, no. You only did one, and now you realize that it's a very successful franchise. Don't sit here and try to eat all my leg, bro. Like, don't eat all the dinner.
Exactly.
We can go to the table, find out what main course you want, what appetizer you want, and then get a little drink for you, and that's work that and go from there. That's all you got to do.
Exactly.
It's just, you got to negotiate. Know your talents, know your skills, know that it's going to be good,
because let's be
work
real.
together.
Because money was not an issue because Jennifer Hale, like I said, she's been doing a lot of voice acting. She's been doing lots of stuff since like the 90s. So money was not an issue. It must have been something that Taylor was doing that was causing some issues.
Yeah, it was her probably throwing the name out there, bad name out there, and then when they said, all right, look, we maybe Platinum Games was like, we know we can get her for this amount of money, but she was the original one, and then she probably came off the neck with all that. You're like, she's gonna be a problem. She's gonna be a liability now. Let's go ahead and put money on her. And then she's coming in, with her whole experience doing her thing, and that's fine. That's fine. There's no
because the
no
trailers
wrong
from what
with
I
that.
hear, Jennifer Hale sounds perfectly fine as Bayonetta.
I personally didn't even know the difference.
Yeah,
Weird as hell.
Exactly.
I don't play the game like that, but you can see the trailers and you can hear this. Now, obviously, watching now, I'm like, okay, but ultimately, I'm like,
yeah, exactly. She's doing perfectly fine with
sucks
it.
for Taylor. I'll tell you that much.
I understand. It's definitely going to change her, that's for sure.
Yeah, and now we know that voice actors don't really get paid.
And they need to.
Negotiate. That's all I got to do. Even if you're in a 9 to 5, you're a new, a new teenager.
Yeah, because
You
these
hit the
type of
teens,
jobs are
14.
contract work. That's why.
Yeah.
So basically, they work on a contract, and then they might not be able to work for like another year or something like that.
It's
It all depends.
contract,
work.
self-employment, 1099 contract.
Exactly. That's what
You're a
it is.
self-contractor. You go in,
Pretty much.
you negotiate your
They're part of a
price and
union, of
sessions.
course, and then they sign contract and do whatever voice acting gigs they get
That's exactly what it is.
for an anime game.
That's like if
TV
you-
commercial, whatever.
That's like if we're popping right now and you go over there and you sign for and you do our podcast and then you go ahead and you do storylines and all that. You
Exactly.
negotiate a contract. You say this is the year and this is the boom. That's it. That's what we do. That's what you have to do.
Exactly.
You don't go off the neck with numbers up the butt.
Yeah, it's like
Piss
I know
off a company.
when she came out and said like 450 million. It's like maybe I should be getting paid this. I'm like, what?
The only way she's gonna get her name back in track is if she started doing voice acting, but not for video games. She's gonna go somewhere else
Yeah,
if she still wants to do that.
we'll see.
Well, a very somewhat lengthy but very detailed episode this week, which
Yeah.
is reviewing the conferences as well as venting of the Series S and the issue with Bayonetta, in hopes that you guys will enjoy Bayonetta because it comes out when
No, this month.
This month.
This Friday.
You
I
have
think.
Switch, I
Thursday
don't.
or Friday. Yeah, it's one of those days.
Damn, right around the corner. That's just good. I'm waiting for Modern Warfare 2. So it's funny. Everybody's playing a campaign, and probably gonna do a post video about that. Possibly, who knows? But mainly grab the game, play it live. But the Warzone doesn't come out until November 16th. So, but I'm the type to play hardcore multiplayer, so I'm gonna have fun with that. So
I
it's
know
gonna be
you
great.
love those type of games, so
Yeah, Battlefield. I've been posting on Instagram with Battlefield videos. You see those?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, those are cool. Took me 3 shots for the sniper, but I got him the third time. Yeah, sharpshooter. All right, guys, thank you again. Sharing, caring. Make sure you hit that notification bell to know that we're on every single Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Obviously, you see the streaming soon. Splash screen if we're not there, but we're setting everything up for you. Check us out on TikTok as well. Follow us on Twitter. We're going to put some new content on our YouTube channel as well as the TikTok. Some new breaking. I'll do some live, random, nice, sensitive topics. PS5 is better than Xbox. Debate me. and we'll go from there. You know, we need some feedback. Just recently, last week, I did Silent Hill. I feel it's going to flop. I spoke about it here. Let me know in the comments, as well as, you know, through TikTok and live and all that stuff. So that's going to be good. Again, thank you for checking us out. And we'll probably be more. Were you gonna stream anything? Do you stream anything?
I've been so busy, like playing any games and stuff like that, so I haven't had a chance to. But I'm gonna see if I could try to get some time to do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking anytime I play a game, stream it. That's all.
It's been so busy. Like
play a game, stream it, and play a game, put it online, put it live, and just go from there. Because you don't know what kind of moments you're gonna have. It's gonna be pretty hilarious. All right, guys. Again, thank you. Until next week. Peace.
Oh, I'm his C.
Sick new triple jump channel trailer.
Sorry, that's us.
We're sick new trailer.
Yeah. Move away from the fire!
Get that fire out my face.
Get in the toilet. Get in the toilet.
I like to poo in the bath anyway. Sheriff Tom Hodgson, a history of abusing detainees and violating their civil rights. His department is under federal investigation, and the Secretary of Homeland...
Born in 1965 in Osaka, Japan, Yuji Naka is a programmer and producer synonymous with a certain blue hedgehog. Naka was chosen by Sega to create the game that ended up elevating the spiky mascot to worldwide superstardom, and he played a huge part in Sonic's glory years. Working on Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and even the excellent Sonic Advance games, he clearly knew how to squeeze the most enjoyment possible out of a spiny woodland critter. This very specific skill brought him great success, but it hasn't all been smooth sailing. We're looking at you, Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06. Still, Mr. Naka isn't all about blue dudes with attitudes. He cut his teeth with flower-picking adventure Girl's Garden way back in 1984 and has built up quite the list of non-Sonic related programming and producing credits ever since. Whether as part of Sonic Team or with his own studio, Probe, Naka has proven that he's no one-trick pony. Or should that be one hedgehog pony? One trick hedgehog? Anyway, despite the fact that Naka will always be associated with the blue blur, we're going to take a look at just some of his other projects from over the years. A few of them are even worth checking out yourself. But let me be clear here, not all of them are. Good lord! Not all of them are. I'm Ben from Triple Jump, and here are 10 Yuji Naka video games that aren't Sonic. Number 10. Phantasy Star. Yuji Naka made his first major impression on the Sega brass as lead programmer on Master System RPG Phantasy Star. Released in 1987, Phantasy Star was Sega's answer to the immense popularity of the NES exclusive Dragon Quest. While the series never quite gained the notoriety of the Square Enix...
From the topsy-turvy world to the cafe terrace at night, here are your top 10 bizarre hidden messages in paintings we still can't solve. But before we dive right into today's video, I'm a streaming service in both caught the nature of entry that I watched with to their experiences and how wild but also similar they are. One of the people interviewed believed with my subscription is called Confessions of an Alien Abductee. This documentary is about a curious number of people that have reported being
Welcome back to Most Amazing. I'm Connor, or since I'll be in costume for all of Halloween, you can call me the Doctor. Everyone knows The Simpsons. It's the longest running animated series in... Number 10. Interactive Holograms. The season 11 episode Bart to the Future has been one of the most mentioned Simpsons episodes when it comes to predictions. It helps that it takes place in 2030, which at the time I'm recording this is still 8 years away. If YouTube is still around then, like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the video so far. Number 9, Virtual Takeover. I'm a lover of VR. You know, my headset probably gets the most use out of all of my gaming consoles, so I love the idea of VR becoming more immersive, and we're making some huge strides, like haptic technology that allows us to feel things happening in the virtual world, or full body and face capture technology to allow realistic bodies and movement in games. But one thing that is yet to happen that could be on the way is a mass adoption of VR on the scale of what happens in Season 28, Episode 2, where Mr. Burns discovers VR and the whole town of Springfield is using it to a point of near societal collapse. While virtual reality
Every time I try to talk about a situation, my words fall on deaf ears with more confusion. You know that I can treat you better, and all of these years I've wasted. You always come running back, over and over and over again. We don't have to fight, let's make it right.
Health alert. Individuals with kidney problems. If you received an MRI with contrast, then developed skin problems including thick and hard skin, stiff joints, or limited mobility, compensation may be available. Call 1-800-LAW-5755 for a claim evaluation.
Hey, stop using these for ear cleaning.
Health alert. Individuals with kidney problems. If you received an MRI with contrast, then develop skin problems including thick and hard skin, stiff joints, or limited mobility, compensation may be available. Call 1-800-LAW-5755 for a claim evaluation.